Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is That's Doable again. And after checking out the Encyclopedia Dramatica article on Asalieri, I had noticed that there was a guy named Commentary who had made two videos about about Asalieri. And again, it uses a lot of information directly from the Encyclopedia Dramatica article. And I would recommend you go check that out because so far I haven't had a need to come back in months, almost a year, to make another Asalieri video because people have essentially got the whole article down themselves. They've got more information than I ever could. But Commentary made two videos on Asalieri, and a guy by the name of TOGProfessor made a response to that video. And Commentary decided not to respond to this video. So I thought, you know what? I haven't made a video in a while on this channel. I need something to do. It's a Wednesday morning and I'm bored as hell. So you know what? Let's dive into this 27-minute video. Hopefully it won't take too long to comment on this.
I'm using Stocking because I can, and in all honesty, I haven't used her in a while. Well, actually, I've used her, just not in an avatar sense of using her. It's one of those, moving on.
Honey got a booty like pow, pow, pow. Honey got some boobies like wow, oh wow. Girl, you know I'm loving your style. Checking you out. Oh, 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 my gosh.
Asalieri, a guy who does a series called Reviewing a Reviewer, pretty much telling why a reviewer is bad. It's kind of like DLA's I Can't Believe It's Not AVGN series. He points out why the reviewer is bad, how their stupid jokes, and how they get their information wrong. At least that's what he used to do.
Oh, I can already see where this one is going. As cliched as that line is, Asalieri is a douche because he makes fun of people, even though he's always done that since he first started making his RAR series. What an asshole! It's a story we've all heard before.
Except for the fact that it's a lot different than what you're making it out to be. People aren't upset with Asalieri simply criticizing someone. I've seen tons of people do that. The fact is that to this day, he still continues to be a complete asshole. I mean, just look in the past few months. He's made several videos after which he, in his video that I Wait Commentary shows in his video, after he said that, oh, I barely make any that guy with the glasses attack videos, only recently he has started doing several that guy with the glasses videos. It's like beating a dead horse. Once, like in my case, I had tons of Asalieri fanboys down my throat going freaking crazy on the videos I was making. And you know what? I realized they're not going to change. So I simply stopped making videos or attacking the fanboys. But not that I even attacked them. I stopped making videos simply because people were doing a better job than I was. And again, I'm not going to sit here and claim I'm never going to make an Asalieri video again. And then make one like a few months down the road and like claim that, oh well, and it was different in this case. Just in the past few months, he has made several that guy with the glasses videos, making parodies, making commentaries. He still claims that he has evidence that AVGN pocketed a bunch of money for his movie. It's not the way you're putting it. It's not. People aren't complaining because of simple criticism. They're complaining about him because he is an asshole and he comes off as an asshole. He uses ad hominem attacks to get his point across. He uses so many logical fallacies, and there's simply no point in it. Make a video that is well educated. Make a well educated video, and maybe people will stop complaining because they'll have no reason to complain.
Now he just attacks them for stupid reasons, such as silly gimmicks or anything else, like how they look. He rarely ever talks about the real video, and when he does, he doesn't even go in depth anymore.
You know, you are totally right. He hasn't made any videos as of late where he goes into depth regarding the video or the video maker themselves. He totally does not explain why that particular video maker isn't very good in his opinion. That is, if you don't count his video on AVGN's Toxic Avenger review, his video on Nostalgia Critic, his video on Sour Apples, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, yes, those well thought out videos on the AVGN and the Nostalgia Critic and Sour Apple and etc., etc., etc. Even though those videos where I'm talking about etc., 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 probably would support the idea that Asa is a complete ass and that only uses ad hominem attacks, because there's very few of his videos where he actually goes in depth about why this person sucks and mainly relies on the person's looks. Oh man, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, those videos on the AVGN and the Nostalgia Critic are the main reasons why we're talking about this right now, because a lot of the things that Asa has to say about these people are completely irrelevant and are simply, how should I say this, being a douche towards these people. I mean, the main criticism with Asalieri is this is what he has to do to get views. This has been said by his own fan base. And when you think about how many videos he's put out, of course he's going to have some relevant information through all the garbage that he spewed in their name. Oh, how ironic. We're going to get to this conversation later on. And also, ironically, Sour Apple? You're going to use Sour Apple as an example of a well thought out, educated review. What the hell have you seen? Let's go ahead.
Remember, young Padawan, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Now, for the sake of everyone, I will skip the next minute and 12 seconds and get to the main part of the video, which is a commentary on Asalieri's response to the top 15 smegged up YouTubers list, which I should remind you all is now over a year old, having been made in June of last year.
The video begins with him talking about how he was enjoying a football game, and after that he proceeds to talk about, surprise, surprise, Bat Dan. Really, it seems you only don't like Bat Dan. It's just the simple fact that he's still talking about Irate Gamer. Why does this bother you? I mean, yes, the Irate Gamer really isn't relevant anymore, but people still talk about him because he still screws up and won't acknowledge his mistakes. And it really doesn't help that he even admits that he's Ladybugging 77 to his fans and other crap. I mean, you saw the Crywell Productions situation back in 2011. When you're pulling a bunch of crap like that, it's kind of hard not to keep talking about the guy.
If you honestly believe that he only has issues with Bat Dan because he focuses on irate gamers still, you're an idiot. Because in the video you were commentating on, Asa says this.
A hospital? Guess what happened? Bat Dan, the infamous jerk whose life revolves around two things, irate gamer's entire existence, and shoveling dirt on my name in any underhanded way he possibly can, decided to, surprise, surprise, shovel dirt on my name in any underhanded way he possibly could. You'd think that last year's public apology for lying about, the death threats thing would have calmed his vitriol a little.
Way to go, missing a very large item that hurts your argument while also bringing up things from 2011 that have been irrelevant since 2011.
There was recently a picture posted to the Asalieri Encyclopedia Dramatica article. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen. Now, this is from about 10 months ago. And it's nice that you mentioned that the video that iWait is making is about information that was presented over a year ago. Even though it's still relevant today, the whole premise behind the video is still relevant today, and that's what people were responding to in the video, in the comments, if you would have looked at the comments. But I like the fact that you bring it up, because now I can use this picture that was posted, or I'm sorry, this comment that was posted by Asalieri that was pretty much lost because Asa was replying to pretty much everything. I can use this picture now to pretty much show that a year ago he was being a complete hypocrite and lying. Now, granted, you may say that this is a death wish to someone, not a death threat, but are we really going to split hairs in this situation? May you go die in a car fire. Sure. I think it's still relevant, Professor. I'm sorry.
After all, Irate Gamer has gotten past the whole Cry Wolf production situation and hasn't acted like that in a while now. You know the saddest part about your generalizing Asa's reasoning behind not liking Batdan is? That clip was in the video that you made, and yet you still missed it when you were editing it and going back and making sure your video was okay!
And the next part doesn't really help much. He pretty much bashes Batman even more. Pretty much say he's a liar and the scum of the earth, just because of his blog and a simple mistake like that. And Asa also admits that he hasn't involved the families of the people who he's insulted. True, but you have made death threats and have even pretty much gone to a neighborhood to see if anyone knew any dirt on Spoonie. So really, you're not much better.
I love how you say Batdan involving his family and falsely accusing Asa of sending death threats to multiple users is a simple mistake. Though I would love to see your evidence to prove that Asa actually sent death threats and was in essence stalking Spoonie. Listen, I'm not here to white knight Asa, but I just hate it when people make accusations such as this without providing actual evidence to back up their points.
You know, the guy who originally supplied Batdan with one of the many falsehoods about my person that are currently roaming the web, namely Hardcore Kid, who claimed that I'd sent him death threats in an attempt to curry favor and sympathy with the internet at large, he decided to make money by attempting to take me down again.
Considering your track record, I wouldn't be surprised if you really did send him a death threat.
Once again, I would love the evidence for this to come out into the open from you. This comment alone proves that you are biased and willing to believe anything bad about Asa at this point, regardless of true evidence being there to prove anything.
And once he starts showing the commentators, he proceeds to make fun of their appearance.
Who do we have?
Greetings. I am the cartoon.
What the? I'm hard pressed to find a more ridiculous way to appear on camera. I appear shirtless on camera and wearing a fitted ladder, and I managed to look more dignified than you. A towel as a cape? Captain Underpants is really, really?
I am Fat Loser Man, with my shield of justice and my touchdown killing. I'm gonna throw my D20 at the loser's line. Yeah, Fat Loser Man, shield of justice.
Does the cape really detract from the video's quality? If he's making good points, it shouldn't matter. This is what I'm talking about. And why are you even complaining about silly gimmicks when you used to have a talking Odyssey?
To an extent, his wearing a bedsheet as a cape really does take away from his credibility in every video he ever makes. And you have to admit, it does look really fucking stupid.
Really? Okay, then sorry, I've been going about this commentary all wrong. We need to reverse this video. Let's reverse this video back to the beginning. And you know, since we can now, since the way someone looks can extremely take away their credibility to the extent that Asa does, you know, blatantly making fun of them, making that part of the main part of the commentary or review or whatever. Let's go ahead and take this the way Asa would take it. Why is it that every single time TOGProfessor makes a comment, he needs to put these almost naked girls on here, some bordering lolicon? If he doesn't have enough enough confidence in himself to actually show his face and to actually show something interesting on the screen that isn't pandering to the teenage snotty kids that make up his audience, then why am I even watching this? Nothing that I have seen so far in this video comes off as intelligent or witty. I think I'm going to stop this video right now because this is disgusting, it's making me sick, And the way this guy apparently has some very weird fetishes going on. Because, like I said, he doesn't even have enough confidence to show his own face, and instead has to put up these freaking pictures of half-naked anime girls. Like I said, some bordering lolicon. So you can take your lolicon nonsense away from me, because this is disgusting and I'm sick of it. I mean, you have shown in the past that you have a webcam. Is this all you can do? I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done with this video. I can't even make it past the 5-minute mark. Just completely disgusting. I'm done with this. So this is what I'm talking about. See, I didn't comment on your pictures that you like to post over your face while you're talking. I didn't mention that at all during this video because it didn't matter to me. And you know, a person's looks does not completely ruin the freaking review, like Asa tries to make it out to be, and how you apparently are trying to be an apologist for what he's doing. If this was the case, then all those sentimental all those sentimental performances you see on what is it, America's Got Talent and stuff, where you see ugly people coming out and people are like, get off the stage, we know this is gonna suck, and then it wind up being amazing. I mean, if we did things like your way and Asa's way, where we just made the entire like thought process and the entire review and the entire critique about someone's looks, there was a lot of people that would not be on the internet, including yourself. You know, a lot of people are not really appreciative of the fedora hat that hipsters are wearing now. And people are not appreciative of the fact that people have to put these sexy girls, half-naked girls, and all these anime women and stuff. People are not appreciative of the fact that you have to put those in your videos. Listen to what someone has to say. Now, am I saying that an appearance does absolutely nothing to a person? No. But what we are talking about is how Asa makes the entire freaking review, the meat of the review, about a person's looks. That is where we have the problem. And I'm sorry that you apparently did not see it that way.
I'm here, I'm weird, and for those who may despise me, you better get used to it.
You're here, you're queer, and we'd better get used to making fun of you? Well,
I can't tell if he was being serious or it was another joke. If it was a joke, then wow, that wasn't funny.
Yes, that was a joke, since A-Log was in essence using an old tagline from the homosexual community, a la, we're here, we're queer, and we're not going anywhere.
Why he wouldn't before. I mean, he has George Wood jowls and a horrible-looking toupee that looks like he carved it out of one of his house pets. And he's wearing tacky shades. Bravo! I mean, if I thought Irate Gamer gave me material for years, your stupid-looking rug alone gives me a lifetime of jokes. Oh, and speaking of tacky shades, this, apparently, is a hardcore kid. As you can see, everything in this image screams, poser! This kid is 19 years old. None of what's on his wall is from his time. Well, maybe this thing, I don't know, I can't make out what it is. But Akira, 1988. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Yeah, I get the feeling he just wants to belong so bad. But he's just such an insufferable fake twat that a lot of people tire of him in seconds.
Asa, there's nothing wrong with liking stuff that came out before your time. I mean, I like the Stranglers, and they came out in the 70s. Really, is that such a bad thing? And also, has it ever occurred that Hardcore Kid is just a character? Of course, you'd probably just make fun of the character himself, considering of all the comments that you made about the appearance, especially about DLA and Cartoon Hero. What's worse is that he's still not done. He continues the camera and how he doesn't resort to silly gimmicks. He just appears on as himself. Well, so has Waymu, but you make fun of his age. Really, what does it take to please you? Why does the gimmick matter? Just watch the video and listen to what they have to say. That's the most important thing. And it seems you've forgotten about that.
Whole of the commentary community, I've at least attempted to evolve. Also, I've not made 1 penny on my videos, nor do I expect to be famous or a millionaire from what I do.
Again, in perfect irony, he's making money now.
Apparently this translates to, well, he must certainly be jealous of everyone who does. No. Other people's success has no bearing on my own. I merely talk about a plethora of topics on my channel for my viewers. That's it. Why, oh, why is this such a crime to you zealots?
The reason why sane people don't like you is because how when you do reviewing a reviewer, you just insult them as people rather than the actual video. And really, you just have a large ego. There's really no point in denying it, especially when you went insane on a blog criticizing you.
So in other words, you would like Asalieri if he was exactly the same as DLA. Just constantly making statements like, ugh, that joke was stupid, or wow, your special effects suck. Even though you are here defending DLA when he makes fun of the person in the video as much as the video itself in every video he makes in his series. Well, it is really funny that I can once again prove that Asa makes fun of the videos and the premise of the videos. Watch his RAR and Sour Apples. Yeah, he makes fun of Sour Apple, but he also makes fun of the video premise, the reviewing style, and the theme song. What does it take to make you happy?
You can watch the last video that iWait made on this topic, but yeah, I think to my knowledge, when I watched iWait's commentary, our second video on Asalieri, I think Asa made it a little ways through the video and said, I can't take this anymore. This is just too much. I'm done with this. And you're going to say that Asa made a good review of Sour Apple? Give me a freaking break.
Oh, and how dare he stand up for himself on a blog that was posting lambasting statements about him while raising a few valid points on the side, and some not so valid points. What's so wrong with him defending himself on occasion?
Lambasting! Man, I still don't get it. It's as if you don't read any of Asa's comments, you watch barely a few of his videos, because the ones that you're using are ones that you could probably easily use to defend him, you know, on the rare occasional video where he actually doesn't focus on their looks, which is very rare. But I have seen tons of comments from Asa where he replies to every single comment, and most of them are like, man, and again, this is really, I don't know, I don't feel right saying this, but it's like, man, you're an AVGN fanboy. You know, it must suck having all that jizz in your mouth. Man, you might want to go wash that out. Or, like I said before, may you die in a car fire. Or, oh man, you're so stupid and everything. Do you not read his comments? If you're going to make a video stating that Asa, you know, makes good reviews and everything, then read his comments. You will know that that's a lie. Or, I'm sorry, not his reviews, but if he makes good comments. You're acting like he's defending himself pretty well, making these stupid freaking arguments, making these stupid comments, these disgusting comments, some of which have nothing to do and are mainly there just to blindly and like a kid just insult him. And like I said, a very, very like disgusting, demeaning manner. Again, look at the freaking comments.
And I will admit that sometimes Asa does go a little overboard with that, but not always.
Then he goes on about good criticism and bad criticism. Pretty much saying good criticism is pretty much doing it in a tame way, not insulting someone.
Learn, L-Team. This is how to do it the right way. Now let's take a look at you guys.
Look for Mr. Good Boy. Get your mojo working now. I'll show you how. You can dare to be stupid.
Number 7 is a tie between two internet reviewers, Asalieri and Jay Friedan.
You know, I would love to hear what Jay Friedan has to say about this, considering A, you are using his image to make ad revenue without his express permission to do so, something I know he takes issue with, and I'm sure you do too. And B, you openly call him a douchebag at minute 9:22.
As for Jay Friedan, yeah, he's a douchebag.
Yeah, you tell me to stay classy?
Keep it classy, Asa.
Yeah, you guys combined have about as much class as a guy taking a dump on Old Glory. You guys have no position on which to stand on. You openly insult people without provocation and for no joking purpose.
Asa, you seem to have missed a tiny key word in that statement. Estimated. As in, not the final figure. You moron.
And you make blanket statements based purely on conjecture.
How dare they not be tame with Jay Frieden and pretty much just point out what he's done wrong and bring up good points? Really? Calm down, Asa. And you don't know what's funny? This is the exact same way you reacted on the blog that criticized you. I'm serious. When Laser Squad, the author of the fake Batman Sucks blog, made the article on Asalieri, he made multiple comments pretty much trying to play victim and claiming that Laser Squad had no evidence and all this other crap. Really, all you did was prove all of Laser Squad's points on that post.
Asa, I don't want to dislike you.
Oh, is that why you called me a moron?
This might be a nitpick, but he calls you a moron later in the video.
Pretty dishonest there, buddy. Now, notice how this guy reads from his screen. Look at his eyes, look how they move. He doesn't have the key abilities you need to make videos where you appear on screen. That is, either the ability to say things on the fly, or the ability to memorize a script. This guy is so friggin' lazy, he just types it all out and reads it all back to you. How is this entertaining?
This is strange, because it seems like Asa is criticizing the video right now, while also criticizing the person, which iWait Commentary said he never does anymore. I'm not sure what's going on now.
You should at least have the respect for your audience to at least attempt to give a crap about your presentation.
Doesn't writing a script kind of imply that you do give a crap about your presentation? And really, it's not that noticeable, at least not for me, that he's reading off of this. And really, is it really that bad that he has to read a script? Not everyone can memorize their scripts or make stuff up on the fly.
Yeah, it might show when the effort was put in, and yes, it is very noticeable when he is reading from the script. Though let me say this, there are other videos where the cartoon hero is reciting from a script he memorized, which shows that in this video in particular, he didn't put very much effort to ensure decent quality. It's not that hard to memorize parts of a script, or even the entirety of a script, and if you mess up, then you edit those parts, you idiot!
Throughout this little portion where you go on a rant about how apparently it is the fact that someone has to read off a script destroys the quality of the video, especially when they have to read it in front of you, and the fact that they have to look at the script as they're reading it. You're over-exaggerating this part, blatantly over-exaggerating this part, because you act like it's such a huge cut to the quality of the video that he is looking at a script and that he's reading off of it. Take me, for example. In my first video I made about Asalieri, essentially what you are doing to iWait right now is the same thing that Asalieri did to me. I brought up good points in my video. I simply got Asalieri's name wrong, but they blew it so out of proportion that his own fan base went crazy and just used those points against me while completely ignoring the used my lack of knowing his name correctly and used my stuttering, etc., as a means to claim that I knew absolutely nothing. Now, this, of course, was not the case, and when I actually typed it out, people were like, maybe he actually does have a case. But throughout this section right here, where you are saying that, stating as a fact, of course, that the fact that this guy who is reading off a script has to, the fact that he's reading off a script just destroys the quality. It's you over-exaggerating, and I know you want to get that feeling out. You are an Asalieri apologist. You want to get that idea out, and you know, it might work out for you. You have 1,000 subscribers, so whatever. But it is not as bad as you are making it out to be. Sorry.
So to summarize, this guy thinks that I am arrogant and that I somehow have a vendetta against that guy with the glasses.com and AVGN. I don't.
Yeah, I have to call bullshit on that. You made slanderous comments on them on your old channel, even made videos pretty much making fun of them, and apparently you even left hateful comments on the forums. And about the AVGN, yes, you also have a vendetta with them, especially considering the fact that you're still harping on the Kickstarter.
Yes, bring up things he did on his old channel to prove that he is fixated on that guy with the glasses. Bring up accusations that he went vitriolic on their website without providing evidence, yet again, which makes you look like a retard. And when was the last time Ace had talked about the AVGN Kickstarter? Oh, let me think about that. A year ago!
So again, in your attempt to try and make everything just look completely null and void throughout this video, you bring up the fact that it's an old video and it's an old topic and all that, when in fact, Asalieri periodically brings it up again. I mean, in fact, he even talked about the AVGN trailer as if something still was like wrong and horrible. There's a guy that's a fan of Asa's that made a video about his reaction to the trailer. You can go watch that because for some reason you keep leaving out these videos in your response. So you can go check out that video. I think it's by a guy named Parker Stanfield. Now, to respond to this, Asalieri made his AVGN Fanboys Where Did Your Money Go video in April of 2012. And here's an image just in case because you're complaining about proof all the freaking time. So here's the proof. Here's an image of Asalieri's date that he published his AVGN Fanboys Where'd Your Money Go video, and it shows the description and all that. You can go look at that yourself. And here is a comment he made to a guy named Samuel Tegeek, with 2 3s by the way in geek. Where Asalieri, being the whiny person that he is, decided to come on to his video, which, by the way, totally unrelated, Ace, this comment right here, because the video itself was about Ace's money-grubbing scheme himself to get an outrageous amount of money with his Truco cards. So, in this video, Asa leaves a very peculiar comment here, and I'll show that on the screen right now. And this is several months after the original AVGN Fanboys Where'd Your Money Go video. This, like I said, is several months after. And he is still saying that he has this video evidence that AVGN pocketed some of the money, and he has a video of it. And yet, to this day, 8 months later, has not been published. Man, it's the way you put this is as if it's as if I came up to you and stabbed you and I had a mask on or something, and for some reason you couldn't identify me, and like a year passed, and they finally find out that I'm the one that did it. By your logic, it doesn't matter. It's water under the bridge, man. Just because it's old and happened in the past, it shouldn't matter. Man, that's what the whole purpose of this video is. This is your only argument so far. Your only argument that you're peddling multiple times. That it happened in the past, therefore it doesn't matter. Well, tell that to everyone else. If you make a video from now on that has something to do with the past, that happened in the past, a nostalgia video talking about a game you don't like, it doesn't matter. The fact is, here is the fact, here is the problem that people have. Asalieri has not yet once, one freaking time, Professor, one time, he has not one time said, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong, guys. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have made that video. It was full to the brim with incorrect information. I'm sorry, guys. I'm truly sorry. And to my knowledge, he's made one video about himself, apparently critiquing himself, and it wasn't even a video that was that serious. Now, you try and dismiss everything that happened on his old channel. I'm sorry, but again, he has not said anything in regards to being, apologetic about the things that he said. The things that he blew out of proportion, the things that he lied about. Nothing. He hasn't said that he has gotten things wrong at all. That's the problem. You can't just do something and then, because it's a year older, completely forget about it and be like, you know what, that's so old. Even though I never apologized for it. Again, like I would walk up and stab you, and just because it was a year old, just because it happened a year ago, it doesn't matter. What is with this reasoning? Do you think before you make these videos? This reasoning does not work, sir. It does not work.
In fact, as you saw earlier, I haven't made a video on thatguywiththeglasses.com in over a year. A year, folks!
The entirety of the Asalieri 2 channel has in total one video on Linkara, and it wasn't even made by me! That disproves the notion that I somehow have something against them. Hell, I was so sick of the accusations made against me by their fanboys that I made a New Year's resolution to stay the hell away from that website. I broke it when someone linked me to that vitriolic comment made on the site by Batdan, but I haven't made videos about them in over a year, and I intend to keep it that way, because I know their fans are insanely defensive and unreasonable.
And you ended up breaking that promise, considering the fact that you've made at least 2 videos on that guy with glasses. The one on Linkara's ad block video, and one on the Nostalgia Critic. And as for the fact that you claim you don't have a vendetta based on the fact that you haven't made a video, it's not limited to just videos, you know. Other comments, as well as your overall attitude, says a lot. And your attitude towards the site shows that you still have this ridiculous hatred of them.
Yeah, he did break that promise, and that is something that he will have to deal with, though I would argue that the Linkara video was not a video about that guy with the glasses, since it was only on Linkara and it dealt with his blip videos and not that guy with the glasses. Still, you made a halfway fair point, even if you did finish it with, "But Asa, you still say that you don't like that guy with the glasses even to this day." Wah. He doesn't have to start liking them to prove that he's moved on. And hell, I think he is allowed to answer when someone asks his opinion about that guy with the glasses, right? I will not skip parts where he agrees with Asa, once again says Asa is still bitching about the Kickstarter, and he has one legitimate point where Asa said, without evidence, that the cartoon hero is attacking anyone who didn't like Kick-Assia, so he does raise one valid point in this section.
Oh, and speaking of fanboys...
We weren't speaking of fanboys just now, but okay, interrupt away, poser kid.
An impartial way possible. His fanboys are batshit insane.
Whoa, dude, if you're gonna make a point, stop the darn thing so we can read clear examples that support your claim.
Can't you just hit the pause button?
Though it is the burden of the person making the claim to make sure that the evidence is clear and easy to recognize. I should not have to pause a video to read comments when someone is trying to use said comments to prove their point.
Automatically prove your point. Again, you guys are lazy as hell and you don't put any effort into your arguments or your videos for that matter. This is why I have zero respect for you.
Really? Just because their production values aren't as good as yours? Really?
No, that is not what he said. Just listen very carefully, and yes, I know that this will be hard for you, since this isn't the first time that you've misquoted him in your video.
Prove your point. Again, you guys are lazy as hell and you don't put any effort into your arguments or your videos for that matter. This is why I have zero respect for you.
He didn't talk about production levels, but the effort they put into providing and are researching their points.
If this is the kind of people you're influencing, that doesn't make you a good reviewer. It makes you an asshole.
So my viewers are what makes me an asshole? Well then by that logic, that guy with the glasses, AVGN, and indeed anybody with any amount of fans is also an asshole.
That might be what he was implying, if that line wasn't taken out of context.
What's worse is that just like That's So Jack and Alex Owns Your Face, he treats them like his own personal drones. I am sorry, but when I see a bunch of bullshit on innocent users' videos, like a bunch of thumbs down, false flaggings, and people basically white knighting Asa like he's Joseph Stalin, it makes me feel fucking sick. If this is the kind of people you're influencing, that doesn't make you a good reviewer. It makes you an asshole.
Yeah, that doesn't really change anything, since unlike That's So Jack, he didn't tell his fans to white knight him or to attack other users. In all honesty, he has told his fans to not do this since his videos are made for fun, and he doesn't feel that the users he makes them on should be attacked for what they do. Though, you are one to talk about context, aren't you? Since you've misquoted Asa twice already in your video. Hell, Hardcore Kid screwed up by comparing Asa to That's So Jack in the video. And in turn, it hurts your argument right here as well.
Asalieri does seem like an intelligent bloke, but he's the type of guy who gains enemies fast because he tells it like it is.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it. And ostensibly that's how I ended up on your video.
Maybe with A-Log, but with everyone else, they just don't like your ego. They really don't like your execution of the videos, and I have to agree. Especially to all the people who criticize you.
And those people criticize him for the exact same reasons A-Log said. Those are the reasons he ended up in the video. You even said it yourself. It is because of how he makes his videos. He makes them by calling it like it is and as he sees a situation. Do you see how pointless your comment was?
So in my misguidedness and my ignorance about a certain subject, I can say anything I want as long as I call it how I see it and how I believe it should be. You know, because if I go up to you and I call you a complete moron, or you look ugly, or you're a piece of trash, or you're this and that, it's just my point of view. I don't have to back it up. And what a hypocritical statement! You go throughout this entire video stating, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? And then you completely act like it doesn't matter in this situation. Asalieri makes claims that he does not back up, and with the claims that he tries to back up, he doesn't provide solid evidence for it, or in the case of the AVG and Kickstarter, or I'm sorry, in the case for the AVG and movie, claims he has evidence that he actually doesn't have. Did you just ignore the whole previous portion of this video? It seems like it.
You're a complete retard that wouldn't know good if it were to rape you repeatedly day after day to keep reminding you who it was.
Today, to commemorate how much I hate fags, but have no problem with homosexual people, we're going to bake fag cookies! That's right, fag cookies. Now, I know the red markings in these cookies are made from 100% blood of fag.
I love how he just skipped over that part entirely as well.
Yeah, especially since the second of the two video clips was a parody of another user, which was made to make fun of them. It would be like saying I hate homosexuals because I made a parody of the Hardcore Kid and his comments about homosexuals and people who make fun of others for being fat. While the first one is from a video so long ago that I'm surprised they used it, since people can obviously change that amount of time.
Does this automatically make me jealous of people who get handed $500,000 for saying shit and fuck a lot? No. I mean, are you jealous of the fact that I have more viewers than you do? Of course not. It's a ridiculous cop-out argument that lazy people use to not have to think.
Asa, you made a video bashing Reviewtopia after you got rejected and how Sing got accepted. And you even made comments against the site.
I don't know how many times I've said this in this video, but evidence! Proof! That is why he made the video. For the love of God, prove something for once and not just talk out of your ass.
See, it's a funny thing that you mention that, because there was evidence out there, Professor. There was evidence out there. But unfortunately, the user who had uploaded this, I think, hour-long Skype conversation with .Pepper, the owner of Reviewtopia, he took down the video that featured this information. It was an hour-long conversation that Asalieri and a bunch of the people in his gang, some people from Busy Street, I think Razor Fist may have been involved, but they all decided, hey, we're going to gang up on .Pepper and complain about the website. And unfortunately, what happened was people found out that Asa actually wanted to join the website. See, if this long Skype conversation had not been posted, people would not know this. But It's gone now, Professor. And it's gone because the guy who uploaded it removed the video. Now, if you want a abridged version of this, look up a guy named, I think it's either Mark Muse or Muse Productions. He has like 2 other accounts. Look for something like History of Reviewtopia, or I'll make it easy for you. Asalieri, being such the cool guy that he is, made a playlist on his channel, and it's called it's something like Douchebags or something. And look in here, and you'll see the video where Dot Pepper and Mark Muse are talking about Reviewtopia. Now skip to the, I believe it's the 47-minute mark. And here you will hear, and at this point you will hear what happened with Asalieri and Reviewtopia. You can also look at his review of Reviewtopia, where he goes in line, complains about everyone's looks and how horrible they look, and the fact that one guy on the website's copying him and all that. You can look at this, and once you get the idea of why Asalieri made this reviewing a Reviewtopia video, it becomes pretty sad, the reason he made it. Rejection. So yeah, I'm going to provide you the evidence, but sadly I cannot provide you the 1 hour long freaking conversation because a guy by the name of One and some numbers or whatever deleted the video. You cannot see it, or I cannot find it, or else I would have definitely used it before, but you can't find it. So sorry, you're going to have to take my word for this existing.
My problem with Asalieri is not that he dislikes what I like. My problem is his attitude and the execution of how he makes fun of it. Again, I know several people who like his videos, and that's perfectly fine. But as for me, I can't stomach them.
And you show as your example my parody of the food reviewer. So what you're saying is that you don't like my ridiculous, exaggerated parodies of some people, so therefore I must be an asshole?
Since when did the background clip have to be that specific to what they're talking about?
Since always, because when you put a clip, it is supposed to be of something that is an example of what you were talking about, or even evidence of what you're talking about. You know, that thing you constantly forget to bring up and actually provide?
Yes, it was footage of a parody that you did. So what? That's not the point he was trying to make. He was just trying to point out that, really, that you just have a giant ego and seem to attack any reviewer. Once again, you're just nitpicking the hell out of this. Anyway, there's really nothing else I can say on this video. The actual video, it might not be horrible, but really, to me, it just cried, "How dare you make fun of me! You're all idiots! I'm right, you're wrong!"
Yes, it wasn't horrible, which is why you made a 24-minute response video to it, 1 year after the fact. Talk about late to the party with absolutely no date to go with. Now he will repeat himself and say that he is making a follow-up video, though because I've kept you here long enough, I will just say adieu and leave it with that. As for the posters, you should understand this, seeing as you're someone who hates irate gamer. Gamer. Wow.